Good morning. It's been a while since I've gone live on my page, or in fact at all. I think Christmas and everything have rather taken over, but I thought it was about time. So firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Colette Broomhead. I'm an online startup strategist, which basically means that I work with people who are just getting started in the world of online business. And I help people find simple strategies that are going to help them to go from nothing to growing their business and replacing their 9 to 5 income so they can quit their 9 to 5 for good. And the reason that I do this is because quitting my 9 to 5 for good is exactly what I did. For me, it was all about having more time with my kids. I actually loved my job, but it was taking me further and further away. I was having to travel all the time. I was, working longer hours, and I just wasn't getting the time that I wanted with my family, and especially with my two little boys. I was missing out on school runs, school plays. It's funny when I say missing out on school runs now. 2.5 years into working from home and running my own business, I wouldn't mind missing out on a few school runs. But that's a good place to be in. P.S. Do you like my pen? Let's just take a moment to admire the pen. Okay, I had to do that. Anyway, the reason I'm here today is because I know there are so many other people out there who are now in the exact position that I was a few years ago, and that is desperately wanting to find a way to be able to quit that 9 to 5, to be able to have that freedom to work from home. Perhaps for you, it's also about your kids. I know for a lot of people it is, wanting that freedom to be able to go and do the school runs, to be there when they're ill without having that awful guilt of, do I let my employer down or do I let my child down? Which one shall I do today? Horrible. So I know that there are so many people out there who are experiencing that right now. And so I'm popping in to give you a little helping hand and, brighten your day with this pen. So let's just talk about it. I know when I first kind of felt like this need to make money from home, it was after the birth of my first little boy, and the end of my maternity leave was fast approaching, and I was desperately trying to think of ways that I could make money from home, because I didn't want to have to go back to work. I didn't want to have to leave my little baby in childcare, and so I was Googling like crazy, business ideas, how to start a business. And I just was completely stuck. I couldn't come up with anything. And I eventually concluded that I just wasn't right. I wasn't the right kind of person. I wasn't qualified enough. I wasn't clever enough. And it just wasn't going to happen for me. It was only special people who could possibly, start their own businesses or make money that way. And so I kind of gave up on it. Thankfully, not completely. And the birth of my second baby, a few years later, kind of re-sparked that. And fast forward, here we are today. But the reason I'm coming in today is because I want to just go through this list of excuses that we tell ourselves. Hey, Barn, nice to see you. Because I hear them so often now, and they're the exact same excuses that I told myself. So things like, I can't think of an idea. That's a problem. Let's face it. It's very difficult to start a business if you can't think of a business idea. I understand that, but it's entirely, overcomable, if that's a word. We'll come back to that. What else is there? Can't afford it. Starting a business is really expensive, right? Surely. Actually, no, not necessarily. I have very few expenses for my business. It's absolutely doable. And in fact, you can get started for pretty much free if you're using, free website builder, free. There's pretty much free services for everything these days. They may be pretty basic, but when you're just starting out, that's all you need. What about not enough time? I've got my 9 to 5, I've got my kids. How on earth am I supposed to find time to then start a business as well? Well, that's down to you and how much you actually want it. If this is a priority for you, you can make it a priority. If we can find time to, watch an entire box set on Netflix in a weekend, just me, no, then you can find time. If this is a priority, there is time. You don't have to kill yourself. And in fact, my whole business is focused around finding simple strategies so that you are actually able to kind of work a bit less and achieve more, and it's absolutely doable. So time doesn't necessarily have to be a factor. You can find time if this is a priority for you. It may not be a lot of time, but any time you have is taking you forwards and taking you closer to that business that you want. What about qualifications? That's another one. Well, I don't have any qualifications. Who am I to start a business? What could I possibly do as a business? I'm not qualified. I don't have the experience. I don't have the knowledge. The fact is, qualifications these days, most people I know who have their own businesses actually don't have qualifications. My last official qualification was a French degree. So, I don't particularly use that in my business, I have to say. So qualifications aren't the be all and end all either. And we're often more experienced and more expert than we think we are. Don't you love my pen? I don't know if you were here when I was showing it off earlier. Anyway. So what else do we have? I think that's probably it. Those are the key excuses that I come across, but there's lots of others. We are prone as humans to try and protect ourselves from something that's a bit scary, that's different. Ego automatically goes into this whole, avoiding doing anything different. And so we tell ourselves all these things to try and protect ourselves from anything that might be a bit dangerous and a bit scary. And so that's what those voices are. That's why we have all these excuses going around in our head, because it is inbuilt in us to try and protect ourselves. But if you want to achieve something like this, you have to kind of break through that. You have to find a way to kind of do things that feel a bit scary and step out of your comfort zone. And that's why I'm here, to help people do just that, and to kind of offer that support that might be needed, especially for those first few steps. So the main reason that I'm here today is because I wanted to tell you about a free challenge that I'm running next week. And basically, this is to help people overcome all of those kind of excuses and problems that you have when you're first starting out. It might be that you still don't even have a business idea. And the purpose of the challenge is basically, over the course of 7 days, even if you don't have a business idea at all yet, you will receive the training and support that you need in order to, number one, find the perfect idea for you based on your passion, your experience, and what's going to work best for you and your personality. But not only find the right business idea, to shape that into an actual business purpose, a mission statement, and ultimately by the end of the 7 days to have your first product or service structured and ready to actually sell. Sounds maybe impossible. I promise you it's not, because the whole point of this is to keep it simple. These things are often so much simpler to do than we make them for ourselves. We like to overcomplicate because we think things must be difficult. If it's not difficult, it must be that I've done it wrong or I'm not doing it right, so I need to add complication. And actually all we're doing is making life so much harder for ourselves, because actually it is really simple. And so this challenge is designed to show you how simple it is, and that anyone going through these steps can find the right business idea, can structure that into a real business purpose and mission, and then can create a quick and simple product or service that's ready to go in just 7 days. So if that sounds like something that you need to get you started and to get you off and running with your business and with your way of escaping your 9 to 5 and running a business from home, then I would love you to come and join me. The challenge starts on Monday. As I say, it is completely free. It's the first time that I've run this challenge, and so you won't even have to endure a sales pitch at the end of it. I am literally just testing it as a challenge. I would love your feedback. I would love your participation. I would love to know if you find it helpful, because that's going to be super helpful for me, so that I can then tweak and change it and make sure that the challenge is excellent for next time I relaunch it. So the challenge starts on Monday. I'm going to pop a link in the comments. If you would like to join, then you just need to sign up there. That will subscribe you to my email list so that I can send you the challenge emails, and it will also mean you will receive any other emails that I send out. I generally send out one around once a week or so. But for the challenge, they will be daily. And that's it. And then you'll be invited to join. There's also a pop-up Facebook group that you can come and join us in. And yeah, come and join the fun. So if you have any questions, give me a shout, and I shall pop the link in the comments now. Here we go. Whoops. Boom. And I hope to see you there. Take care. Nice to see you, everyone. Thanks for joining. Bye.